Check, check. Oh yeah, see that is the wrong window. I told you. Hey, wait, we gotta get music back on, or else it's not a cool stream anymore.
Gotta
Hey,
have
how you guys
music.
doing? Hey, listen, hey everybody, how you out there doing? This is Brainy Beaver, and my guests tonight are, oh my goodness, I forgot to get your proper names and remember them, is what I'm going to start by saying. But I do want to say that they are from the Obviously It's Fake podcast, because I did remember that. I'm going to use my ADHD as an excuse. That's what we're going to move forward from there.
Oh,
Um,
totally
but
fine.
but you can
Yeah.
please introduce yourselves and just tell everybody about your channel real quick and say hi and all that. Oh, a woodcutter. I'll get to that in a second, sir.
Hello. So I'm Catherine Doherty. I
Get
host
her on the screen.
Obviously It's Fake with Chelsea. Are we okay, like volume wise?
Yeah, you guys. You're on
Okay.
with. Yeah, they can hear you, but I somehow lost my window that had you in it. So let me. Oh, you know what? I miniaturized it. That's what happened. There
Mm.
she is, everybody. Hello. There's a face. Please keep going. My apologies.
Hello. Oh, no problem. So we host Obviously It's Fake the podcast. We started in 2020. It's a podcast about all different conspiracy theories. Um, you know, and we are here today because we started to dabble into the flat Earth.
Yeah, and do you regret it or are you happy with your decision? I guess is the first question.
Oh no, definitely happy. It was, we did our first flat Earth episode kind of like as like a throwaway. We were like, oh, we don't have a lot of time to prepare this week. Let's just do flat Earth, and it like grew into our definitely our most popular episode on YouTube. Not so much on our audio streams, but definitely on YouTube.
Dave's fans came over and poured in. I can see this. You've got like 20. Well, good for you though. You always need something to kind of help catalyze it, and that can do it a lot, right? So you've got 23 views, 10 views, 104. That was a big one for you, or is that like intro video? But 22, and then you've got the which one is this? Is this a moon landing one? The moon landing. So then you jump up to 158 because you started touching conspiracies, the flat Earth space conspiracies, and then all of a sudden you know QAnon 114. That one's spicy too. How did YouTube treat that one, by the way?
So actually, the first time that we posted about QAnon, YouTube did remove it. Um, YouTube removed our voter fraud episode also originally. It just like in, I guess, in probably in like a sweep of
The
everything
AI
related to
just
those
does.
topics.
That's not a human being. There's no human that can do that. The AI transcribes everything in your video, and at some point when it heard enough words that it associated with all these conspiracy, voter fraud, Trump fake news, related. And again, we don't typically do politics on this channel. I think that my fans probably know I'm not a gigantic Trump fan, but that's neither here nor there. Whether you like it or not, I think YouTube might be left. So anyways, they would comb a lot of that content based on your transcription that comes along. So it just does
Yeah.
a very gray. It looks at it and just puts words together and goes, those words mean this, and it'll just delete you. And they've been setting it to murder the last year because of coronavirus. There's not as many. Well, they say there's not as many humans behind the scenes taking care of things. So they've basically before they left the shop, to the AI for low humans at YouTube, they basically set it to like death ray mode, and then walked away. So like if it now when it decides that there's something that's medical misinformation, it just destroys it, like eviscerates it immediately. Team Skeptic did an entire. They did him and several other creators. They did. Now tell me if I'm coming in loud. By the way, I do have a little bit of an echo coming back, but that's.
You sound okay for me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Making sure I'm coming in. I'm just putting out feed. Check. Oh, the music's still in the background. My apologies. While we're trying to talk, I usually try to pause that, but I like jamming out. So for me, it was just normal. But they I lost my train of thought. Why don't you finish talking anyways? So continue what you were saying. So you touched on the QAnon. They deleted it first.
Yeah, they deleted our original QAnon episode, but like we just so happened to redo that episode to increase the quality. It was our first ever episode that we recorded. So like it was, very very amateur, even more amateur than all of our other episodes are. So we just happened to redo it anyway. And so, we had another one.
Sometimes you want to redo things. I had a live stream in the spring, or spring now, winter, just after in January was, I don't know, I had beans sprouting out my ass that day or something because I was in a bad mood, and I wasn't like overly fair to my guests and stuff like that, and I was just like, when I was done, I was like, that is being deleted, just destroyed. Like, I just got done, and I was like, nah, it's not even gonna exist for as long as I can get to the delete button. Because yeah, it was just not a good feeling. I didn't like that being me, so it was just a bad day,
It's still like the original recording, but we increased the quality a lot and definitely edited it down a bit.
Well,
when we first published it, we were like, I think in the middle of the episode, we start eating French fries and like talking to my boyfriend who walked in. So yeah, we took all that stuff out.
That's fair enough. Yeah, so that's fun. But then I see here, okay, so then we move past that and we get to your golden boy now. Your golden goose here. Your 917 views. Good job, by the way, because there's times where I release videos and YouTube hammers me down to that number, which I don't do much better than that sometimes on a video anyways right now because I haven't been putting out enough content, which is on me.
The full video got like 5,000 views, and then YouTube took it right down.
Oh,
yeah, it was only up
sad.
for. Yeah,
we were stoked. So sad. That's why you got targeted. You just hit too many people, and then the AI was on top of you, like just right there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry, your friend. If you need to, is she there right now? I heard there was noise. I don't know if she's in the room still or anything, but she's a very quiet individual. If she's listening, you gotta force your way in here. You just dive in head first. Say what you gotta say. I don't know if she's there. I can't see.
Chelsea, she's here.
Okay, it's Chelsea. I'm gonna write this down because my memory is crap. So we got Chelsea. Okay, thank you. Chelsea, because I want to be respectful and not have to ask your name 18 times. And then, sorry, your name again was the other.
My name's Catherine.
Catherine. Okay, we're not going to do this the entire stream. Catherine and Chelsea. Okay, I got that written down. My name's Scott, by the way. Pleased to meet you. Okay, so yeah, so you've got your Flat Earth video there, and it was, and so, yeah, they deleted it, and then you re-uploaded it with a few choice things taken out.
Yeah, we kind of so this was the video that we re-uploaded was what we sent out on our audio stream, because the full interview, to watch that, Dave relies heavily on visual aids, and it just wouldn't have made sense on our audio stream. So what we released here on YouTube and what's still there is our audio only episode where we play some like key clips that we thought were really interesting from Dave, and Chelsea and I kind of give our thoughts and analysis on them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, well, yeah, let's, so my idea here was that, we're gonna watch this video. Now, I watched some parts of it. Well, I watched half of it. I was doing things while I was trying to watch it. Now, BitChute is garbage. Have you ever tried to watch anything on BitChute here? Does it do the same thing for you? This is the trashiest site I've ever seen. And not just in nature. That's probably true, too. Because they don't really restrict any content at all. You can say anything on BitChute, probably. I don't know. Is there rules on BitChute? I don't know. But what I do know is that I have never been to a more glitchy website. And you know what it is. It's that everything has to have 15 ads on it. Like, this whole sidebar is just a whole bunch of rotating ads that just absorb so much resources, so it just freezes up.
We do have a link to the video. I know Dave posted it on his BitChute, but we do have it on our website through like our Vimeo account. Okay. That might be just as
actually,
low quality.
I downloaded it from him anyways. So we with the magic
perfect.
of awesome can fix this with the use of VLC Player. So don't worry. I was like, you know what? There is no way I am suffering this stream through this horse crap website right here. Because what would happen is I'd be watching and I'd try to pause it. I'd walk away. I'd do something. And then I guess in the background, it unloads my buffer or something. So then you come back and you're like, play. And it's like, all right, in 2 minutes when I'm done buffering, I'm going to play again. And sometimes it wouldn't. You have to press refresh. And I'm sure it's all the ads. Because let's face it, this website's probably trying to hack into my Bitcoin right now or something. That's how it feels every time I'm on it. Anyways, so no, I wasn't going to do that to all of us. So I went ahead and got us the good stuff here. Which he, by the way, if this was on your channel, I mean, yeah, I get it. I wouldn't care either. You don't care. But technically him uploading your entire stream without permission is not really in copyright.
Well, I think that he, I guess he's a little offended at our analysis of his beliefs.
We agreed to disagree, and he disagreed with our disagreement.
Putting up your entire like that, just because he's in it, it doesn't make it like open. I'm not saying you should go out of your way and try to like. It's just not worth your time. In fact, it's better for you to leave that there. You'll get more attention that way. But I'm just saying, it's like, just so, like, that is technically, like, Dave has broken copyright law by just picking up your thing, just so you know for the future, just so you can feel good about yourselves. Like, that is actually not allowed. Like, the other one, possibly because he's put some words on it and he's slanted it in a way, like the one where he clipped you guys, which I'll show them first so that they can see. The reason that you guys are getting the hate from Dave's fans is because he's put this clip up of you guys where I guess he's essentially trying to say that you guys are, indoctrinated and dishonest and stuff. But meanwhile, the conversation that you're having, to the best of my understanding, is you discussing that we have to put it up in entirety. We can't, like, censor him as a guest kind of thing. So it's just to me, it's so funny that he puts it, because even you said to me today, Catherine, see, I wrote the name down. You had said to me when I was talking to you, and I'd said, where did he get this clip of you guys saying this? Like, was he still in there? And you're like, we left that in the clip. It was all on the original video. And you even said to me, you said, I don't know where people have gotten the idea that we hid this, or that this was something we had tried to hide. And I said, well, it's simple. He made it look like that on his YouTube channel. Which is why you've gotten all these people pouring into your channel and hitting the downvotes. So this is something I was going to mention. It's in the description. There is a link. Some of the moderators, I'm sure, can put the link up in the chats here. But what I would like to see is if some people, go and try to enjoy it and watch it. But even if it's not your cup of tea, we can probably reverse some of those like to dislike ratios a little bit, because. Was this like this? I have a hard time believing. Well, first of all, you can tell where Dave's fans got upset, because those ones are like 33% and 20. Like the white is okay. So the white privilege one, I'm gonna let people decide on those ones whether or not they want to upvote or downvote, because those might just be natural downvotes, because I don't know what you've even said in there. I can't endorse anything, but I would say on the very least on the QAnon, the Flat Earth, and the moon landing one, that's Dave's crew coming in there and dropping down thumbs.
Yeah, we never really had,
Did any of these have these kind of low ratings, or have they just gone to all your videos and mass downvoted you?
Yeah, they've gone to all of the videos prior to the having Dave on. Like we said before, the channel didn't really get that much traffic. It was mostly on our audio streams. And our upvote to downvote ratio was usually 100% upvote, because it was like the few people that followed us on our YouTube that listened consistently, or it was nothing.
But you know what it is that he BitChuted it. And BitChute is basically like a goddamn pig manure pile. So the problem is, as soon as he BitChuted which again, views are views. Even if they hate watch you, now, if somebody comes in and watches 10 seconds and just downvotes you, that is not great for you, because what that AI looks at that and it says, oh, this person came in, they watched a few seconds, they hit the downvote and they left. They must have hated it. So there is a bit of interaction there. So it's like, how do I put this? It's like, it's more positive than nothing, but it's also not good at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain how that works. But essentially, yeah, it's just not great to have them downvote you like that, which is not. There's nothing you can do about that. That's not your fault. That's Dave's asshole people's fault. So, I mean, I think you got in a nutshell. You got to kind of see what happens, what we've been dealing with over the last 2 years. Like my dad one day said to me, he said something to me, and I'm like, they don't know my full name. He goes, they don't, and I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, oh, I thought they knew your name. I'm like, no. I'm like, my Google review page for my business would have nothing but downvotes on it. I would be like, I'd have like 1,000 like 1-star ratings. You know, people be saying I stole their money and I like, you know, diddled their kids and stuff because the flat earthers would I'm telling you right now, they are the worst humans on earth. They called now. Sean Hufford has gotten himself in some other trouble recently, which we're not going to get into in this stream. There's videos people can watch for that. It's not going to be today, but this person I'm mentioning, that is a cesspool of a conversation as well. So just avoid that one right now. We can talk. But he before he had I don't know the timeline, before or after he'd stolen a whole bunch of money from people. He was working at like Walmart, I think, and they literally found out because he took a picture of himself with like he had a thyroid problem where he grew breasts. I saw the breasts. They were bigger than my wife's. And he had them surgically removed and everything like that. So that did happen. But then I guess you set off a flat earther real quick when they see a man with tits. I'm going to tell you right now, like that is trigger juice for that group of people. So there's
like so much negativity towards like trans people with like flat earthers and QAnon fans. Yeah. It's crazy.
Never seen anything like it. It's like I don't like to, because again the words get transcribed. So you try to which you're doing fine, by the way. Nothing you said. We try to limit it so when you can catch yourself, like the T-vestigations, that the people do. That is the most disgusting content I've ever seen, and it's so crazy. It's like, look at this jawline. Look at this jawline. That's such a feminine jawline. It's like, all right, like it's. You know, like look at that finger. That finger's too long. That's a woman's hand. It's like, what are we like? I mean, okay, maybe there's a bit more estrogen in the womb when he was developed. Like it doesn't. It's like everybody's changed their original. You know, like one guy, what is it? Hans. You ever? I mean, you'll find if you search Hans, 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 and I mean, if I type Hans right now, will I find him? Watch. Yeah, there, Hans Wormhat. Sorry, that's his last name right there, see? God, he gets 4,000 subscribers. Every channel he has gets deleted. He's very religious, and he, like, posts videos like animals are fake, and everything is fake to him. I don't even know if he's real. Wow. I have a hard time... Oh, yeah, I have a hard time believing these people are real humans. Like that he could be this, like, you know?
We thought that Dave was like kidding when he first, because somebody, I don't know if it was Dave or somebody that Dave has running his Instagram account, but that was how we got in touch with him. They reached out to us on Instagram and said, you know, you've got to have us on your podcast. It'll be great. It's time to talk about flat Earth. Like 2020 is the year of flat Earth. Let's do this. And on our Instagram account, like it's very obvious that like we don't subscribe to the idea of flat Earth or QAnon. And it really we thought the way that he was communicating with us in the beginning, we really thought that he was like kidding or like being sarcastic. But that's probably our fault for not like really looking into all of his content and probably just like projecting our own sarcasm onto everything that he was saying. But yeah, we really thought that it was mostly a joke.
No. That was, he is dead serious, but I'm telling you right now, we're going to get into that because it was great. It was great. Like, it was like, with the eye. Did you see the thumbnail? Did you see the thumbnail for it? You know exactly what he's like, do you think that looks like 1,000,000 lumens or whatever? It's like, well, obviously not, because your eyes would be melting. Oh my God, it was perfect. You guys got what it takes to make fun of them. What do you say to that? Exactly.
What do you say to that?
You should see what happened when I got told that the Russian Vids is a big flat earther, and he's like the artist of not answering questions. Like I saw you say that in the one thing. Like, I feel like he just didn't answer any questions, and you nailed it. That's what they do. Okay, so the technique is they will not answer questions, because if you answer questions, then you have to validate your understanding of what you've just said. So what happens is they say the moon is made of plasma. It creates its own light, which I know he said that in there too. Well, he didn't say the plasma part, but he said it creates its own light. There's all different sects, okay? They don't all believe the same thing. Like Flat Earth Aussie Jesus believes that the moon, and I am not joking to you even one bit. He believes that the moon was dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants. And the reason it has like craters, those aren't craters, they're actually like the bubble marks from when they turned it into like molten glass, I guess. And threw it up.
What?
I don't remember how it got up there, but it was melted into molten glass. It was mined out of the Grand Canyon by giants. And,
I can see that.
The craters are bubbles of like the hardened bubbles from the drying of the glass, the molten glass.
Yeah. You might be able to convince me of that if, like, I was like drunk enough or.
So you're the girl all the guys want to meet at the bar. Hey, baby, I'm Aquaman. It's like, oh, he's Aquaman. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm just teasing. That's fun though. No, I see what you mean though. That's if you're gonna. By the way, if you did you pre-watch any of my shit? Because you're gonna see that I'm a little bit of a shit of like Joker, like shit. Shit. Dog.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Well,
the latest stuff has been a little bit Haiti. Okay, so. I'm gonna put that out there, and this is a full-on announcement to everybody that is not the new channel, okay? I have very much cleared my mind of the garbage for now, and we're just gonna let that simmer. And I'm gonna start working back on content. I'm actually prepared. Do you guys want to see a little taste of my content? Does everybody want to see a little preview before we get into this live? I'll show you when I'm actually producing content. I'll show you what I can actually do. But I'm never on target. What can I say? I gotta find this stuff now though. See, this is pre-prep stuff. You guys should talk while I'm saying that. Tell me what your biggest takeaway from Dave was, because I saw the shock and awe in your eyes after you got done with him. It was there was that whole moment of like, where do we go with our lives? Like, and he thought it's because he totally convinced you. And really, I mean, you're just like sitting back in this pool of questions going, goodness, I don't even know if I want to ask him any of these.
We were mostly thinking like, okay, is it like, can we release this, or do we just have to scrap this whole idea for an episode?
Oh, well, yeah. That's what he posted. And then he plays it off as you being dishonest and trying to cover the truth up.
Yeah. And he, I mean, don't get me wrong, for what it's worth, I mean, he had a lot of interesting material. I mean, I'm not convinced, I feel like people feel like I might have been. I even asked, like, I'm not sure.
Well, see, the thing that you were going through there is exactly what they're aiming for, and it's this attempt to try to overwhelm your senses with questions. And because you're not ready for all of these answers, so I'm just getting a background. No sound at all. When did this come in? 4:16? Well, there's got to be sound right now.
I have sound.
No, but did they have sound? That was a while ago, but it got up.
Uh-oh.
They must be hearing me. I don't see a whole bunch of no mic symbols and shit. But there was a point where he was saying no sound at all. 4:16? I don't know. We're here now, I guess. Or was that the intro? Did you guys not have music for the intro at all? Did it not play that? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. I'll rewatch it.
Yeah, that probably was like during the intro that time.
Well, what's interesting is that it should play it right out of, there might be a glitch. If that didn't play audio, it might have been a glitch out of OBS, because OBS sometimes has a little background glitch where you have to flip something off of monitor to like no output and then back to output, or else it doesn't output. It's very odd. Anyways, I do have to very quickly before it gets way, way away and I forget about it. I have to just thank some. See, it didn't. Who was the first? I see. See, we've got RNGD Gaming. Welcome to the Woodcutters. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Welcome to the Woodcutters. I appreciate the. I think that was the $2 tier. That doesn't matter. I appreciate you joining. My wife and I are getting ready to do a member stream. If we can make sure our kids go to bed on time one of these damn nights. I think everybody here probably, a lot of people here probably know what I'm talking about.
They never go to bed on time.
No. Well, not when you need them to. You're like, hey, do you want to just stream later? Yeah, we could do a stream later. That's the night. Everybody's up till 10:30. Like, what the F is going on here?
Everybody's constipated all of a sudden. Their bellies hurt.
My kids eat a lot of berries, so that's not a problem. It's like blue when it comes out, so. Crystal filled with helium. Oh, here it is. Okay. Crystal filled with helium dug out of the Grand Canyon and put up there to mock us. That's what he believes. The giants filled it with helium and hung it in the sky to mock us for worshiping the sun. They got up there.
I mean, that's a cool
got up there by
story.
helium. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, that's pro level story. Like I'm telling you right now, that's a child's book.
Well, that was like the map that he showed us.
We'll get to that. I just want to ask the person who whoever the first super chatter was, it's kind of disappeared off here, which maybe I can bring it up in my dashboard on my stream labs, but I'll take a look at that. But if you want to at me, just at me who you were and what your comment was, if you can remember, and I would love to read that, please, and just make it like big capital letters and say Brainy, you idiot, right here. And then Betty Bangser for $4.99, no comment, but Betty, I think that's a comment, not a sticker. Betty, if you meant to put a comment in there and you didn't by accident, feel free to tag one of the mods or somebody, or at me. Just if you get a proper at, then I get that big orange, Brainy Beaver. It jumps out at me. It's easier to find, right? I can hear Brainy, Chelsea, Catherine, fine. The new member bit was just audibly volume. Oh, well, that's probably okay because I didn't want you guys to get your ears blasted off. Sometimes if I have that set to how you just get smoked with audio. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to grab, I had mentioned playing just a little sneak peek of my upcoming content, but at the same time as I'm getting that ready, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to play his clip of your podcast, that the one, and my audience is going to see what Dave posted first, and then so they can see the slant on this. I just got to turn everything up. Just give me 1 second so you can hear it.
Thank you, Dave. I enjoyed it very much.
All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Music still on? Oh no, he did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he adds damn music to things. Oh, that son of a bitch. Okay, so this is in the regular one. It's right at the end, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well then let's bypass his, because this. I think they personally do this. They purposely do this. They use monetized. They use copyright music, and then if you try to play this, you'll get tagged if you try to play this video now. Because we don't know the rights to this song, do we?
Right.
Yeah, and that's like a bullshit game that they try to play. So what we'll do is we'll find this right here. It's literally like right after he left, right? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
And he plays 4 minutes, right? Does he pause it or anything here? Let's see. No, he plays the last like 3.5 minutes.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you just play. I just want to make sure we get the right content. Okay, here we go. Let's let this play. I need to get the audio.
I enjoyed it very much.
All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait a minute. That's off of the wrong one. What happened here? Oh, wait, sorry. No, I downloaded it off of... Oh, he put this on his fucking channel with music? That son of a bitch. Is it in the other copy on your channel even still?
I think we...
It is, yeah.
Okay, well then I'm just going to go right back to your channel.
Yeah, I didn't change anything.
Okay, then let's just go to your channel. Obviously...
You'll probably have to go to. It's not on our YouTube channel.
No. Okay.
It's on. No, YouTube took it down, but it's on our website.
Is that right here?
Obviously, it's fake.com if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna leave that in the background for 10 seconds. That I can put in the description too at some point here.
Is your grandmother alive?
The Vimeo here.
That
I wish.
this entire
Just right when he leaves, it's like
did
I love
people.
it. I love
and
it.
it's easy because
So this is what he played. This is what he played for everybody. So let's let me that off the screen here. Yeah, unfortunately I hate it because I set that window up for a different thing, but it's a little bit not the right damn size for that one.
Oh, I see.
A big deal, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass because of course you don't, I'm trying not to move things around once the show starts, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I'd like them to see the whole thing. Yeah, that's not working very well for me. Oh, very professional. Everybody loves a good. No, I'm actually tearing down. One of the things I've been doing, everybody, is I'm actually tearing this whole set apart digitally, not physically. Not the one behind me. That's Sam. I'm literally tearing this whole setup apart and redoing it because it's disgusting and it's not working right. It's convoluted. Anyways, okay, here. So this is the moment that Dave left, and while that's happening, I'm just gonna grab some files.
if you're waking up to flat Earth, you're like, oh, I can't believe the Earth is flat, and then you see one of these hit pieces, you're like, oh, thank God, it's not flat, and then you just give up and walk away, right? But there, it's all mind control. It's all mind control.
Leave it here.
This entire world is mind control. It's mind control. Cartoons.
Could be.
All right, ladies.
Possible.
You guys are just
Alright,
like
good night,
floored
Dave.
at this point. I can see it. You're like, could be. You're welcome to leave now, Dave.
Yeah, my mind was mush, and I was just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Have a great night, Dave.
I just want to make sure you're not getting back feed or anything. No, we're good. Okay.
Thank you so
here, I'll
much.
play this for a second.
Thank you,
I'll grab
Dave.
some
I enjoyed it very much.
All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
files. The look on your face. So don't worry, everybody. We're gonna go back to the beginning and start watching Dave talk, and we'll see what led her to this moment. But I thought, because this is an hour long, we're never gonna get through the whole thing because I wanted to talk to you too. So the thing is, I wanted just to go here first so everybody could enjoy what I enjoyed when I went to DIRTH's, page there and I saw this, and I was like, awesome, because I didn't see. I'm gonna promise you right now, I didn't see the same thing that they saw. I saw my reaction to having a conversation with a flat earther, and I'm going to tell you my first interaction one-on-one with an actual flat earther was in my own home. So like,
Oh, that's awkward.
I'm not one of the only ones that's had that happen and it was to the point of like, okay, so I'm sitting right here in this spot, shitty set behind me. Maybe I think I just had the green screen because everything was just a wall. I'm watching Simon Dan, maybe, let's say, in the basement, and my wife, I'm a beekeeper on the side, my wife sends, my buddy comes over to help me with, like, medication to varroa mite stuff for the winter, for the bees, so his buddy's with him, his friend's with him, not my friend, but they come down, he comes around, he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, man, come over here, and, like, he's like, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, these flat earth idiots, or whatever, like, making fun of them and everything. His buddy right behind him, yeah, I believe in the flat earth. I'm like, so of course I just kind of did the old double take of like, and I was like, hey, you're joking, right? Like, no. Next thing you know, it was like 10 minutes later, my wife was coming down like, what the fuck is going on down here? Somebody was about to get stabbed. Like, cause it was like, no, we were having at it. This was bullshit. Like, he's like, of course I'd been watching people argue with these people for like a year at that point. I knew all of his arguments. And I'm like, cause like, I got him, I'm like, okay, I'm like, dude, I'm like, you're holding the ball in your hand. I'm like, does the Earth have an atmospheric gradient? He's like, of course it does. I'm like, okay. He's like, density and buoyancy, right? The whole fucking argument. And I go, okay, dude. I said, so you're holding a ball in your hand. I said, now, when you go up, the atmosphere reduces in pressure. He goes, yeah, of course. And I'm like, okay. I said, so do you agree that on top of that ball, even if it's just like a lot of decimals along, on the top of that ball, there's actually a I lost my train of thought. There's actually less pressure than on the bottom of the ball, because the air pressure gets denser as you go down. Like it might be minute, but there's less. And he goes, yeah, of course. I'm like, then why doesn't the ball just shoot straight into the sky? Because by rights, there's less resistance on that ball. Buoyancy and density wouldn't explain that, because there's less resistance on the top of the ball now than there is on the bottom of the ball. And of course, it's like, so he goes, so you believe that next thing you know, he's like talking about satellites, and it's like, fuck, it just kept going, and I was right there ready to fight him. I was like, get my brass knuckles, let's do this. It's like, it was. So, because for me, it was like, it was like just a rebuke of all of the things I understand about what I know, which they would say is indoctrination, but I would say is actually called understanding. So
Yeah, I'd agree.
Anyways, here, let's let your reaction continue because it's beautiful.
Wow. So.
Do I believe the Earth is flat now? Shut up.
See, he reads into that right there. He sees that, and to him, that is you trying to say that isn't like it's you guys trying to come to terms. He sees you trying to come to terms with the fact that you believe everything he said, but you don't want to admit it. That's what he sees when he sees your reaction here. That's what you need to appreciate, right?
Yeah, he sees that. I mean, so many people were saying that I was like stopping Chelsea from exploring the realities of flat Earth and like trying to peer pressure her back into, indoctrination.
Yeah, I'm the real victim here, in case anyone's wondering.
You're the real victim? Now, I'm just trying to find a thing. Keep talking, please. I'm just trying to find something while you're talking here. That's why I look distracted.
I think that, as I don't know, it wasn't so much that I was trying to absorb I was trying to absorb what he was saying, because I did want to try to understand his points. I wanted to give him a fair, like, all right, let me see what you got, but when I tried to understand more, it was like, okay, well, now you're just bringing up another point, and now I have more questions, and wait a minute, now we're done. Wait. And I just felt so kind of like taken aback, and I felt sold a little bit, or sold too, I think, as far as
Yeah, it was like a sales pitch for sure.
Yeah.
I at no point wanted to look further into anything that he said, and like but that's just me. Like, this is not a debate that like I thought we were going to have. It's not a debate that I thought was like necessary. I feel like I walked into a room and like everybody's trying to convince me that like, the sky is purple, and I'm just like, nah, it's not though.
Well, but how do you know? You might be colorblind.
I mean, well, whatever.
In so many cases, this is a nice mind. I think we know because of wavelengths of light. So when somebody says this, the answer is we do actually kind of know that people don't see different colors. But here's a nice kind of like brain exercise. Oh, we're gonna get the alert on the top. Come on, dancing girl. Thank you very much to whoever that was. I gotta get there. Oh my goodness, it's Bella Charge. Thank you for 5 New Zealand bacon money and no notification. Hashtag FUTube. That's actually pretty good. FU and then tube. I like it. It's a good hashtag. We should also keep remembering hashtag Team Skeptic got no eyes. Okay, I want that trending on Twitter, guys. That's Team Skeptic is a fantastic, wonderful. I actually call him Papa Skeptic, because if it wasn't for him, my channel probably wouldn't exist. Because what happened is he got false struck by a flat earther years ago. I and another creator that were nothings, 100 subs maybe, 50, 80. happened to have done the same video, the exact same video. So of course everybody's flocking into that video, and then of course the algorithm was like, this video is the same, and it like attached us, and then of course some people found us. But this is Team Skeptic, and this is Whiskey Wednesdays, and I want everybody to remember that Team Skeptic got no eyes. Hashtag. We were sloshy, pretty sloshy at this point. That was about the fourth time he came around and asked us all to say our last piece and then get out, because he kept forgetting that he had done that. So just giving you some context, Team Skeptic got no eyes. But Bella Charge, thank you very much. And Webbard, was that you that made the $2 donation? I think I asked you in DMs, and I saw you said something about needed my ears blasted off by $2 donations at Brainy Beaver. I need my ears blasted off by $2 donations at Brainy Beaver. Oh! Wait, is it too loud then? Maybe it's too loud. Maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know what I'm reading here. Turn it down. See? People were complaining they couldn't hear it, and then I made it so you could really fucking hear it. And then they complain, you know? You ladies got to push right in, okay? I'll just keep rolling. But, okay, so let's give it like 20 more seconds here. It's amazing.
Can we even air this? Is it irresponsible to air this?
Yeah, turn it down.
I think we have to be very smart about our introduction.
You're not hearing that story, so I'm dancing to nothing to you ladies.
I see the little girl.
Yeah, I do see a little girl. It's cute.
Let me get a clap mark in here.
Oh, you can't see that now all of a sudden. What the hell did I do? I have failed. I have it on the screen. What the hell's going on here?
Good. I don't... Okay.
All right. That is very, very...
Uh-oh.
No, everything's fine. I just gotta move the right window to the top. I don't know why it lost track of the... Boo earns. Yeah, no, it's weird. It lost track of that Vimeo window somehow, which is very odd because we had it. Maybe if I unlargen it and then... That is so weird. Honestly, I think that this is what I mean by tech issues on this. I think there's been like somewhere that weren't taken in share, explore share. Well, bear with me for a second. I need this sound louder, Webbard. I think he's talking about the freaking donations. Okay, just bear with me a second, everybody. I'm trying to figure out what just happened to our screen here.
Now I have the music.
Oh, now I hear the dancing.
I turned that up for you.
Thank you.
But we're going to... Okay, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this window, reattach that window. That might make OBS grab it a bit better. Because it did this to me earlier where it let go of a window, and then it just... It's even just grabbing... Yeah, see, that's weird. It's having a bit of a bug. There must be updates that need to be done in the background. Anyway, so we're back. We are back. Oh, and that is the shortcut to Vimeo, because that's totally what I wanted to do. So professional. This is just... We're moving forward at the speed of light, everybody.
Bro. I do agree. Shut the fuck up, dude. What? Okay. Not with the entire theory. No,
like
not at all. I don't think that the Earth is flat. I wish I had a little bit better knowledge of mathematics to understand some of the visuals he gave us. However,
Dude.
I think that he kind of would answer a question with a new topic.
Basic trigonometry for the €2, or no, that's a pound. Sorry. He's like, I ain't no goddamn. No, just kidding. Some people apparently, if you call what is it a Brit, like an Englishman a Brit, or is it like one of them you're not allowed to call the other because they're like, excuse me, I am an Englishman, or something like that. Like my wife went there and she found that out the hard way. It's like they almost get offended by it.
I feel like it might be Brit, like Americans calling English people Brits.
Because they're not Brit. Well, if they're actually English, they're not British. Apparently, I think is what it is. Because Britain refers to like all of UK, which is the United Kingdom.
I believe
Yeah.
right.
And proper, the idea is supposed to be that proper English are from like England proper, I guess. But it's definitely their hang up, not ours. Where the hell does an insect come from at this time of year? There's not even leaves out. Anyways, that's the ADHD squirrel. Here, okay, so I want to go into the full thing. So before we do that, I'm going to drag two fun things on the screen and give you and everybody else a little teaser here. So,
you're asking me for a driver's license? Why would I need
the audio? So.
You're asking me for a driver's license? Why would I need a driver's license? The vehicle on the roadway. That's a vehicle. It's a lawnmower. That's a vehicle. It's not a motor vehicle. Yes,
I don't like the way that when it loads in, they're in this different mode.
Okay? You don't have to. You just have to give me your driver's license. I don't need a driver's license to ride a mower, for God's sakes. Go away from me, please. Look, you got...
Can I have your driver's license?
I don't need. This is an implement of joy, not a. Excuse me, sir. Can you get back? Get back. This is not a motor vehicle. This is an implement of joy, and So that's the one part, and then I gotta get the other part right here that is more fun. So he's riding a lawnmower. He likes lawnmowers. Let me fix this so that you can hear.
You're asking me for a driver's license?
There we go. We'll kill that so that nobody has to put up with that again. And then, because I'm doing a sob sit, so this is the kind of fun that if you saw some of my produced content, this is what we're in. Wait, all English calls Scots, Welsh, and Irish Brits only if they do something good. Only if they do. All right.
Well, now we know.
And knowing is half the battle, everybody.
Exactly.
He's turn it off. There we go. So yeah, it's the guy's riding a farming implement, so he's not required to have a license. So I figured I would just roll to get my insurance for my car on my Hot Wheels, because it's a joy implement, not a motor vehicle, you know. So let's go straight into the awesomeness of the entire. I don't know. He didn't play music except for that part. I don't think so. I'm just gonna use DIRTH's download because I had it ready. Here, right here. Yeah, look at that. We're magical here. So let's just do this. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna start from the top here, and I just want to let him say some stupid things, and we're gonna roll through it a bit and just have some fun with him. And feel free to yell stop if you want to say something about something. Okay, just say stop, and we'll just hit pause. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, Weber, thank you for the €2. I need this sound louder.
Did do an episode about Flat Earth before, so Chelsea and I know a little bit about it from our research on our last episode, but I'm mostly curious to start with as how you got into it.
Everybody asks that question. It's always the first question. It's amazing. I've never done a show where that wasn't the first question. So, and I tell the same story, but I'll just keep it quick. I was doing a conspiracy podcast. And in the third year, people started sending me Flat Earth stuff. Say, Dave, have you looked into Flat Earth? I ignored it. Thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And then I was finally forced to look by a trusted researcher. And
Clockwork Orange style, they pinned his eyes open, eye drops and everything, right? They forced him to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's about to say something.
Yeah, he was very reasonable before that.
Well, because doesn't he say, we'll get him to.
And I went in with the intention to disprove it. I went in with the intention to prove the Earth, not even with an open mind. And once you look and once you see, you can't unsee. So, you know, I just did a podcast, the Justice Show, and it's a heavy metal podcast. These rock stars are, they basically interview rock stars, and the guy from the Deftones, the lead singer from the Deftones, He is a full-on flat earther, and he was on, and he started spewing flat earth on a show before me, and he mentioned my app, he mentioned me, and so that's how I ended up on the show. But I'm looking in the comments on that show, and it's all people just saying, what has happened to Steph? You know, he's lost his mind. It's unbelievable. You know, did he go to school? I mean, just insult, insult, insult. Nobody, if you don't look into it, the things that you'll say that are so ridiculous are unbelievable. Right now, you know, before we get into this, I know you guys have been doing a little research. If somebody says, I know the answer.
Well, thank you for joining the Dam Builders, David Keller. It said somebody else on there. It said Bjorn. That's really weird. I don't know if that was supposed to say your name or... Because it said Bjorn was the new member there, did it not?
It said, did it not say Frank something?
I thought it said Bjorn on my screen or whatever when I read it just now. I don't know. Apparently I'm on heroin. I'm joking. That's the new sound clip. Everybody will be spread everywhere. David Keller. That's what it says on my screen. So, okay. But
there we go. Yeah, David Keller.
Bjorn, you just got renewed on a membership. I'm going to let you know right now because it's the 29th. Is probably what that is. Is there something? I don't know how that works because it came through as Bjorn first and then David Keller. But Bjorn, you are green already, so you were a member, I guess. I don't know I don't know what you did, Bjorn. It just said on my screen. It said Bjorn just joined as a member, and then now it said Keller. I got the. They heard it too. There was 2 plays, right?
Yeah.
2 member plays. The first one was not correct. Yeah, whatever. Let's move forward.
The Earth is flat.
I'll let ADHD distract me all day if I don't.
Round. I have $1 million for you if you can guess it on the first guess. What would you say?
Well, you know that we would say round.
I don't know that.
That's bullshit.
Can I just say too
Yeah.
that like when we were like trying to, I guess, talk with him a bit like beforehand, and Kat kind of mentioned it also. You know, up until this point, we're still really thinking like, you know, it's kind of comedy. There's going to be, you know, some jokes or something, but at this point I think I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical just to
we didn't realize we were gonna get like a PowerPoint presentation about like
I like the way you say that. I didn't realize we were gonna get a PowerPoint presentation. Adam Jakowski, 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much. David Wuss, followers can't stand me. I'm all over his BS on his videos. It's a shame his followers are hating on these 2 lovely ladies. David Wuss provides no proof for his ridiculous claims. And that is Adam Jakowski, who also just became a member of the Woodcutters. You guys have been too nice to me lately. I really appreciate all the memberships you guys have been throwing my way. It's been very helpful. Trust me, it makes a big difference. But yeah, no, that's Adam's 100% right. David Wuss. Absolutely. He won't debate us. Like, he won't come on and thank you again, Adam Jakowski, for the membership. Yeah, he won't come and argue with he might come argue with me, but I don't think he sees. See, like, here's the way I see it is like he sees me as insignificant, but annoying enough that he wouldn't want to deal with me. And he sees you guys as people he could potentially like strong arm maybe into believing what he says. Because of course, I don't know, he seems to go after these, you know, I want to say smaller channels, but I don't think I'm a large channel, just so we can be certain here. But yeah, he likes to go
I mean a smaller channel.
Well, I mean, smaller than me, but on the grand scheme of things, I mean, I know 5K on YouTube's actually doing pretty good, but you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to like fill my head with hot air here. It's more about, I think it's because, I don't know. I mean, let's face it, he's not going to get very far on our channels with us, and plus that's what we do, whereas you guys, you don't really go, you dabble in the conspiracy stuff, as you can see on your channel, but it's not really your bread and butter, let's say. Well, it's starting to look like it is. So, but you know what I mean? It wasn't your original purpose, was more of just having a general awesome podcast, right? So to him, you're like the perfect opportunity for him to spread his message to people who don't think he's full of shit already. Whereas if he comes to my channel and he comes to any of our channels, he's just wasting his time because he knows all we're doing, all of like, you know, my 5,000 subs are curated to be people that are, I mean, there's going to be uni hate watchers in there. There's going to be flat earth hate watchers in there. And then the rest of them are going to be people that think they're all idiots. Like, so, you know, you don't underestimate the power of hate watchers. Okay. They're some of your best
Well, I think
subscribers.
you know, I mean, coincidentally, I mean, Chelsea and I are, you know, it's a female show, it's a female podcast, and a lot of the comments from the flat earth community were definitely misogynistic.
Oh, they're misogynistic people in general. Like, I'm not going to make a claim that all of them are misogynistic, because of course, if you made that claim about any group of people, you'd be wrong. Like that any group of people is 100% one way or another, because people are individuals. But I will tell you right now, the odds of a flat earther being misogynistic, especially if he's a male, obviously, I mean, that's kind of a given, but still, the odds are very great. And part of it is religion. I don't want to blame religion. There's literally, I don't know how many religious people are on the planet, but there's literally millions or even a billion people that are religious and aren't misogynists and whatever, right? So that's not the claim, but how do I put this? It's more about traditional lifestyles, and you know, they're a little bit quicker to expect the wife to, let's put it this way, they're just quicker to expect the woman to carry traditional roles, cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids, and you know, daddy will go out and don't ask me questions when I have my beers. That kind of tends to be the way they are a little bit more, but you know, what do you do? But again, that I don't want to attach that to religion. That's just I think what I do want to attach the religion to, I think, is when they get to this level of flat Earth where they're so deep down the hole that you basically need to like grab them by their fluffy tail and start trying to pull really hard to get out.
Dave gets like very like mystical, religious. It's a lot more than just thinking that the Earth is flat.
Red Pill talking about the Earth as a cube. Oh my god, that was funny. Red Pill is such an idiot. He's the one. Okay, so if you ever hear a joke or you ever see somebody saying like, "I can't find the right tab," I'm just super high IQ in it. He doesn't post it. He BitChuted for a while, but he got demonetized on YouTube because he kept posting, you know, flat Earth and like anti, you know, government stuff and Covfefe related things and whatever, and he just slowly got demonetized. And this is an example. Okay, so I want to tell you how much of a lost opportunity this man that we're talking about now is. It's like 200,000 subscribers, and his or is it 3, and he wastes his time talking about these subjects that don't get him any like traction. Like let's put it this way, like he'll put less people in a live stream than I will with 200,000 subscribers, which is just stupid. That is like, if you don't want your channel, give it to me. I'll curate it. You know, we can make some money if you're going to be that dumb with a channel that large. But yeah, he got where, so misogynistic. You actually, funny you mention it. He got where he is because he liked to post a lot of videos about like, which I guess the premise of which I don't totally disagree with, but at the same time it was like videos like, oh, if a woman can hit a man should be allowed to hit a woman. So like his thing was like, it's okay if a man fucking levels a woman on the street if she slapped him, because I mean, she should be aware that he's a more powerful person. You know, like it was like men shouldn't have to defend themselves when they like, you know, when they like, if they like assault a woman who's, because I mean, so what he shows is he'll show a video of like, you know, some woman slapping a guy on the street, which he didn't deserve to be slapped. But then the guy will fucking like, like
if
puts her right out.
Somebody on the street and you like put it out like that, it wouldn't be okay either.
Well, but no,
if it was two men.
Well, no, it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't. No, it does. Exactly. Sex has nothing to do with it, but it doesn't. Exactly. Like, so you're a 350-pound bodybuilder, and some guy's pissing you off. I mean, you need to respect the fact that you're gonna take his head right off his fucking shoulders. If you know, so like body sizes matter and stuff, but it's like, because. Anyways, that's just he's a bit misogynistic. His videos were very much like, it was a lot of like just a lot of videos posting that like showing women doing things and then making the claim that men should have every right to like hit back and like I don't know. You'd have to see his old content, but you couldn't because it got deleted.
It sounds like he wants to beat up some women.
We're not gonna go that far, but he definitely thinks that equality goes well beyond where some of us might think. Now I get what he's saying. If somebody's being assaulted and they have a right to defend themselves, but you don't need to like. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure he could have pushed her away and stuff. Like, if she come at him with a gun or a knife and he did the same thing, or he or she, anybody, and you did the same thing, then I'll give you an out, okay? Because you were under duress and possible like life-threatening harm. But beyond that, like if her ring was a little bit too rough when it hit you in the back of the head. You know, like curb stomping somebody isn't exactly the way to go. I think Friendly Jordies. Do you ever watch Friendly Jordies? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Thank you very much to the Truth Nerds, €2. Be a good host and let your guests talk. Well, yeah, you're right. I do talk too much. Oh, hi, Oof. Could you please talk a little bit about the time Dave said, "Listen to your heart brain"? He was telling me about that earlier.
Oh, God.
What was going through your left? Hey, Hail Satan, do you have a timestamp? I'll go right to it. Give me a timestamp, Hail Satan, or unless you ladies know exactly where it was.
I don't.
I'm not sure timestamp-wise where it's at. Hail Satan,
so
we
let's
saw
put it
you
this way.
comment on the video earlier.
So I'll ask you guys then. Is there a specific conversation that is not 9-uno related and possibly corona virus related that you want to maybe specifically touch on? That would be fun for you. What do you think?
Yeah, so towards the end, one of my favorite parts of Dave's presentation was when he got into the more mystical elements of it and started telling us that there was like another society that lived on Earth 150 years ago, and there was free electricity in there, and like magic and giants everywhere, and you know, it was just I was expecting it, and it was like I had started to zone out for a while. So when he got to this part, I was like, "Word." Giants now?
Yeah, well, no, like as I told you, some of them believe that the Grand Canyon was dug out by giants and they formed it into crystal and filled it up with helium, stuck out the sky. So yeah, giants. Yeah, no joke. So you've seen those, like, you know, Devil's Tower in America, right? Do you know what I'm talking about, Chelsea?
No.
Devil's Tower is here. I'll show you Devil's Tower. We can just search it on. I'll bring it on the screen here in just 10 seconds.
It sounds familiar, but
yeah, you'll know it when you see it. Well, wait a
Okay.
minute. Devil's Tower is, I believe, is the one in Close Encounters of a Third Kind.
yeah, I didn't see it.
Really? That is a classic. And you had a star system behind
That's
you
such
in
a
that
shame,
podcast.
Chelsea Potts.
Yeah, are you disappointed in your
loves-
co-host here, Catherine?
I am. Well, because you know what, Chelsea is her fiance was a filmmaker.
Oh
and
my God,
she
he's gonna be
is
offended too.
obsessed with
Or
aliens.
She, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah,
we're totally friendly to all, you know, lifestyle.
No,
and everything.
it's
Did I hear that
straight.
right? Did I?
No, you didn't. She's
I
straight.
didn't hear that
Yeah.
right. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I had the same thing
But
happen
thank
with
you for liking gay people.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
my brother's is gay, so it's whatever. I had Bad Astra do that where she like just the first, which I don't care. But the first, you know, I still wasn't ready for, just because when she said, "Oh, my wife" or whatever, and of course there was just that 1 second where I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, women can have wives," but because I just, you know, let's face it, we even though my brother has a husband, basically you don't hear it, you know, you just don't hear that all the time, right? So I had that. I was like, oh, and that's why I did that to her too. I said, well, we don't care here. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Apologize for that.
That's okay.
My wife's obviously not in the house. And I'm not going to get to it. It's probably the school. Although, that said, you watch, I'll have an answering machine on there saying, a child that attends, you know, whatever grade with your child was, you know, sent home with coronavirus. That's how we get them. We get a phone call and it'll tell you if like one of the kids in your cohort or adjacent to your cohort had it and stuff. So like those phone calls are kind of not great because that's the only people that have that phone number. We'll see. You know, what else can anybody do? So yeah, you want to get into the mystical stuff, and I think that we should get into that. But Chelsea, I think we're gonna assign you watching some Close Encounters of a Third Kind, just so you know, and because that is a goddamn classic. Like, yeah. I think how old are you, ladies? Do you mind me asking? Like, don't give me your exact age, just range it.
Early 30s.
Yeah, animosity is good in the world we live in. So just, you know, always keep that in mind. A nice recommendation to you ladies is also if you celebrate a birthday online, don't celebrate on the actual day. So it's nice to keep your birthday date private. That's what's important, because that's a big one. That's an important piece of information. So just kind of oscillate it around. That's a good way to do it. But if you've already done it, then I guess too late. Stay friendly to all the people around you. Don't piss off Dave Weiss. I'm just kidding. But this is I'll put it on the
too
screen.
Late.
Yeah, I'm just teasing you. It's all good. He's not dangerous, by the way. I would never make that claim about Dave. But his assholes are idiots. So that's, I mean, just to put it bluntly. Thank you, by the way, if I didn't say it properly. Hail Satan, thank you very much for the $4.99. I hope you saw the produced by or sponsored by at the beginning intro. Because you are the top tier donator, then you get that perk. So I had to add that. And to all the other members out there, goddamn, I'm telling you, my wife and I are doing a stream. I told her, I said, listen, write down things like light animosity things between us. And I said, if there's something that you got a beef about that's like a nice, you know, soft beef that we can hash out on air, let's do it right there, because it, like, you know, just like funny colloquial stories and stuff. That way we can have one of those streams. But yeah, do you see? You don't see. Why is it not switching? Oh, I'm on the wrong. I see why. This right here. Nope. Apparently. Oh, I see what I've done. I'm in studio mode. Sorry. So yeah. So this is Devil's Tower. I'm sure you've seen Devil's Tower before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Close Encounters of a Third Kind had it as the...
It was the mashed potato mountain thing.
It was the mashed potato mountain. It was. And there's actually quite an awesome story. And this is a fantastic channel if you never watched
Hello, I'm...
it's today I found out. But he, like, explains the whole, like, there was a bet over this island. The computer's being a little slow right now. This is not normal. So if you look, there was, like, a bet over this island. Maybe this isn't the one I watched. But either way, there was a guy that bet he could like parachute onto the thing, and he made it, but then he didn't have any like stuff to survive. So like it's like back in black and white times. So it like turned into like, no joke, like they had to like mount a rescue for him and stuff like that. Wow. And see, this is not the one I watched, because the one I watched actually had more like actual imagery, because there's a few more pictures, but like that's a real picture. Because the police weren't happy. In the end, I think. But yeah, so yeah, fun stories on that place.
Wow.
But let's get to the part you said you want to talk about then. So we've got $5. Ooh, what's that smell? Oh, it's Brainy. Never mind. Oh yeah, you guys still got to ask about the vanilla, but I want to watch a bit of this first, and then we'll talk about vanilla. I asked her if she knew anything about the vanilla, and she said no. So here we are. Okay, now why is my VLC player in the wrong shape? But we'll fix that. It's not a big deal. Oh. Well, we're just going to keep moving forward because screw tech problems. Yeah. Is this even the right window? What's going on here? Whatever, we're just going to leave it. So, yeah, I don't know why I can't grab that now. This is ridiculous. Okay, so this, I'm just going to I noticed this. I want to point this out right here. This is the kind of bullshit that they try to quote mine, or that they try to mine out of their, like you see this thing right here, right? Like this is his argument here. I'm not going to play what he's talking about, but This is his argument right here. They'll use examples like this. Oh, smoke, painting, mining, pesticides. And then the deadliest virus in history, is that what he wrote there? I can't see the bottom of it, obviously. Yeah. Is that what he had?
Yeah, it is.
It's not the deadliest virus in history, by far.
But even just like that image is just really silly because I mean, if you understand like the science of, and we do have a COVID episode where we talk about this a little bit, but like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, we're allowed to lightly touch on it. It's just that YouTube doesn't want us getting into any claims, like, because he was making claims. It read the claims and it's.
He was, yeah. Yeah.
You
but
can even do like a 45-minute
episode...
debunk, and Team Skeptic and that did like a big debunk where they ripped it apart using doctors and stats and facts and everything, and YouTube literally deleted the whole thing, and he couldn't even get them to, you know, through like getting reviews. Oh no, we've determined this is medical misinformation, and he even got a strike for it.
Right.
I think because they struck him, they TOS'd him, and he was like, "This is bullshit. This is literally us saying the opposite." Anyways, but please.
Yeah, we got a strike for our interview with Dave. But our COVID episodes, we interviewed a virologist because I used to work for medical school in the area, and he, you know, the size of a COVID molecule, like that's all you need is a face mask. You're good. Like it's not going to be able to fit through there, but you know, pesticides.
Isn't it that the molecule actually
all of those
can
things are
fit
different,
through, but the it needs to ride your saliva out, which won't. Isn't that what it is though? Because the actual nanometer size of the actual particle, I believe, is smaller than what those will typically stop. But I think what it is that.
Oh, maybe.
I think it is because maybe not. No, I'm not going to make that claim because I don't know. But I think the idea is supposed to be that the nanometer particle size is actually lower than what it filters. But the thing is, they don't live on their own, and they're, to the best of their knowledge, not airborne. So it's not something that just floats through on its own. It needs to ride your saliva. And so what your mask is really stopping is the projection of saliva that can shoot in tests up to 6 effing feet when you talk. So just remember, everybody, when you're within 6 feet of somebody and they're talking to you, they are spitting on you. It's a guarantee that it is happening. There's nothing that you can do to stop it. You are getting tiny little bits of spit.
You believe that before this, we were spitting on each other constantly?
And we're going to go right back to it because everybody's so angry. But it's true. Like, you are straight up spitting. Break it straight and said correct, Beaver. So I think that is, it has to be in water. So that's what it is. It's that the virus can fit through, but it needs to ride droplets, and the droplets are definitely always going to be larger than what fits through there, and so they do work. So this argument, but you see how it's always like fact adjacent, right?
Yeah.
Like they take a fact and then we know somebody else out there that does that, but they take a fact and they turducken it, is what I like to say. So, but here, so which exactly when he started talking about, because is it right near the end? Like, did he, because that's where he left, but so it must have been like, I don't even know. All of this was dumb. I watched all this. This was the great one. Do you love this one? What do you think of his aberrations of images of the, because I'm trying to make sure that's the only spot. It's right there. What do you think of his aberrations here? His
box
pictures
that was completely void of air. It's a strong box, and it's got all the air sucked out of it. And you opened up the valve on the top. What would happen? It would suck all the air right in, right?
Yeah.
What if you opened it upside down?
I mean, the same thing would happen.
It would suck the air right in. What if you stuck the nozzle underwater and all?
But when was he talking about so I don't know what imagery. You'd have to remind me. I don't know what imagery he was talking about when he was doing Tartaria.
But you may think you have some things, and I hopefully
towards the end, I think. Oh, here we go. Mud flood. There we are. Yay, we got it. Here we go. Let's let him talk about mud flood.
Giant ships flying through the sky, right? It wasn't the Wild West. That's nonsense.
So this is like history has been rewritten. You're saying?
Not only has,
because by the way, I watched the part where he's talked about the 2 people floating up above the moon in diapers. You remember him saying that?
Yes.
Like saying, because they always reference the space outfits like as diapers, because they're like glorified diapers, because they're all just like squishy and crinkly, and you know, we're all wrapped up in this white puffy material, and it's all diaper-esque.
Like Stay Puft Man.
Yeah, you're like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Exactly. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, you nailed it. I knew exactly what you're talking about. Don't worry. We're around the same age, so we all got the same imagery going on in our heads there. But
Nice.
so the argument they're making there is that like for instance, I've seen Paul in the Plane is a big prominent flat earther with the whitest damn teeth I've ever seen. It was Photoshop. Has a picture of a thumbnail. He's just all smiles, and the teeth are so white. You're like, ah, it's so photoshopped. It hurts. It's like you can see where like one of the lines between the teeth disappeared as he lifted the freaking white on him. Because apparently he needed to have like realtor teeth. But he did a whole video about how there's absolutely no way that the air would fit inside, or that would stay inside a spacesuit, because spacesuits are permeable, and look at the gaskets they use, and he was right about everything, and I'll show you real quick, because it's there you go.
In this episode, Mr. Scott Henderson.
So, like, this is an example of, and I'll bring it up on the screen, get Dave off there. This is an example of what you experienced with, why is there no, oh, is that on the YouTube window? I don't understand why I keep losing track of things right here. I swear to God, this isn't working right. That's better. Hey, here we go. So I'm just going to fix this for a second so we can watch it a little better. Just do that. Fuck it, I don't care about the stuff.
And I will explore what we're told by NASA.
So this is Paul on the plane talking right now, and he's talking about air pressure and vacuum, and I'm just gonna skip through some of the juicy shit, but I want to show you, like, this is where they get this bullshit from.
In this episode, Mr. Scott Henderson and I will explore what we're told by NASA about the lack of air pressure in so-called space, and analyze whether its own equipment, such as the Apollo lunar module and the astronauts' spacesuits, would actually survive. Let's start by covering a real-life example of the power of a vacuum due to one air pressure system.
Almighty
This is before I was on the screen. But, like, okay, so, like, he shows, I don't remember half these damn jokes, to be honest with you. Fucking Jesus. Like, I don't remember anything on these episodes, but okay, so I want to get to the good shit. It's right here. It's the spacesuit and the leaking, how much it leaks right here. Look at So first of all, he doesn't understand the difference between PSIA and PSIG.
Negative pressure.
So, like, he gets all of his stuff wrong when it deals with that. But I think it's episode 2, because I'm looking for the spot where it has... Okay, it's episode 2 then, because he talks about how much they leak, and I want to show you how much they leak, and it shows you that they can say things, and then so people will say, oh my goodness, he's right, these things must leak. There's no way that somebody could wear a leaky spacesuit. Okay, so here it is here.
Quote unquote high vacuum classification.
Dumbass, that when you have a tank of,
or still 100,000 times weaker than the surface of the moon, was built in 1969, the same year Apollo 11 allegedly achieved putting 2 men on the surface of the moon. But if you really dig to find out when the world's largest vacuum chamber was first open, you'll find out it was actually in October 1969, 3 months after Neil and Buzz allegedly walked on the moon. And even then, we are told the vacuum on the surface of the moon is 100,000 times stronger than what even NASA's best vacuum chamber could achieve.
Paul, it's fucking pigeon farts, Paul. 100,000 times more nothing is still just nothing. Jesus.
So it's right here. I've got the actual leakage rate. I get the leakage rate of the damn thing. Where is it here? Give me it. There it is. The good shit. Here it is. This is what I wanted.
Even be effective, or it will fail under type for an
maybe it not quite being 14.6. So
this isn't about watching me. I want you to see what Paul says.
The gloves of the spacesuits have a similar type for an easy connection. The surface of the seals must also be virtually perfectly clean and free of foreign materials for the seal to even be effective, or it will fail under such a low-pressure environment. The Apollo astronauts using the same suits covered in dirt for 3 EVAs, it would be impossible for the suits to work and reseal multiple times. The same is true for the hatch for the lunar module, as they had to crawl through, dragging dust and dirt with them. The door seals would not be functional. The LEM could not be pressurized after re-entry. In this image here on the left are examples of seals used to, again, contain a vacuum. On the right is Neil Armstrong's glove. The connection that holds the glove to the suit are just like a door latch that pushes out into a channel. They do not compress the seal between the metal. This design...
So first of all, that is a complete asinine understanding of how that suit would work under pressure, because here's the reality. You have a suit under pressure, right? How much pressure? So you've got, and contrary to what a lot of people don't really know, that thing only has like 4.5 psi in it, because they run pure oxygen, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, but I believe it's pure oxygen at only 4.6 psi, and that allows them to get the right amount of oxygen in their bodies, normally that would be too low a pressure for you at only 20% oxygen or 21% oxygen to get enough. But at 100% oxygen, they can run you at 4 point something psi, and you'll get enough oxygen, because you're not getting enough pressure, but you're getting way too much oxygen on what you are getting. So it's like they've done the math. So a lot of people don't realize they're running like pure oxygen environments. In a lot of cases, it's crazy, eh? Because the other thing is, then you don't need to have a carbon dioxide tank, or you don't need any sort of like mixing technology or anything like that. You just pure oxygen. Just kick out everything that's not oxygen, right? So it works pretty good. But here's the thing: if you've got pressure inside that tank, and that seal pushes outwards, it's actually going to push that. It's going to push that little door latch seal he talked about, and it's actually going to use the pressure from inside the suit. Is going to make that suit want to go outwards, and that seal is actually going to lock itself in there. Because here's the thing: anybody who deals with vacuums knows this. If you put something on a vacuum, is a super. They're right. Vacuum is a super strong force. Like, it pulls really good, like suctions like hell. But if you have something on the other side of a vacuum, it's going to want to expand because it wants to explode technically, right? Like, everything wants to explode. If it didn't have enough strength to hold together, it would just, the air wants to go in all directions. Well, what happens is, sorry, that's loud. The expanding of that outfit, when it wants to basically blow apart, as long as it doesn't, it causes it to like move outwards. Well, if you have something that's leaking and that thing presses against it, all the force trying to leave that is going to be stuck right there. So those suits basically seal themselves by using the natural force of the vacuum on the outside of them to help them stay really effing tight once they're out there. Because the whole suit essentially wants to blow up, and their arm pieces want to fly off in all directions and stuff. But they don't, because of the way those latch in, and the force pushing out is going to lock them in. Like, in other words, if I put my gauge hoses for my refrigeration on, and I have my hoses in a vacuum, I have a hard time unscrewing the actual like thread on part of my hoses, because there's so much force pulling in that the actual threads are even tight. And if I just go tss and let the pressure off, the threads will just unscrew. Because the force of the pressure trying to push the hose off is actually tightening the threads and making it so as I'm unscrewing, it's not loose on the threads. It's actually really tight against the threads, and there's high friction. So it's they just don't even fundamentally. Here's this guy is trying to talk as an authority, and he doesn't fundamentally understand how it even works. And I am going to get to the leakage rate right here. It's literally right here. There.
Is for an easier way of putting the suit on and off during practice, and of course, simulations. This connection, however, would not even hold a small amount of pressure.
You guys catch that? The pressure expert has spoken, and thus it must be true. He has not demonstrated yet at all his lack of understanding, and we should absolutely put our scientific faiths in him. Something interesting is you can actually download the handbook for the Apollo extravehicular...
That is totally available to anybody who wants to download it. It is unclassified. You can download the original. It's even got scribbles in it.
Mobility unit, which is the basically...
You can see handwriting right there. There's a circle here, revision 5, I guess that is. Like, it's look at it. It's damped and everything.
Suit. And it has a stated allowable leakage in the handbook, and it's as high as 0.3 psi per minute. That's like a super crazy leak, man. That's
so right there in the handbook. So they're claiming, I'm not gonna find it. He was talking before I started, obviously, but his claim is that this thing would leak like a goddamn sieve. Congratulations. It does. It's right there in the manual. Leaks like a sieve. Like, so what it is they outrun the leakage. As long as it's within the normal allowable leakage, They just make sure they apply enough new gas out of the pressurized tank that they don't lose pressure. So, but like that's a lot of leakage. 3.7 psia, but that's the max. But still, that's like 0.0315 pounds of oxygen per hour. Essentially, that thing leaks. Like a measurable amount of actual oxygen. So interesting. Anyways, I want you ladies to talk a bit more because I've been talking too much. And you just need to push in, but I'm gonna let you. So, the Tartaria thing. What was it that shocked you about that? Is that your first time experiencing that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I never heard of that before. Most of the like the episodes that we've done have been about other things. I mean, we did a lot of you did like the assassination of MLK, the death of Princess Diana, JFK, like stuff like that. But I had never heard of this before. So it was an interesting way to be introduced to it. And it's exciting. It's an interesting topic. It's just, a lot of what I find funny about the stuff that Dave said is it reminds me of like other really large, all-encompassing conspiracy theories. It reminds me of like David Icke and his thing with like the lizard people. And
apparently he's like banned on Twitter,
right?
Or sorry, on Twitch or something. Like you can't even mention his name on Twitch or something like that. I don't know. I heard something about.
Well, he had kind of like a resurgence, like this year. I think because of COVID. I mean, he said a lot of wild stuff about COVID, so it got him some more press.
Look at his thumbnails, debunking the debunkers. Anyways, okay, so I think we're right at the Tartaria part here.
This bottom right, mud floods.
Here we
Hit
go.
that button, and these are videos that will blow your mind. Right? If you don't have the app, just go to John Levy, the channel JONLEVI. You probably won't even be able to click it. It'll blow you away so much.
This to me is like so annoying.
This world is nothing like we think it is. It is nothing.
Sorry, what part's annoying to you?
It's just like if your presentation requires me to go like watch, like you're asking me to go watch YouTube videos about a crazy idea, and there's 20 other YouTube videos that are probably debunk each of those. I'm not going to do that. I mean,
what? I think your internet's.
Okay. Voluntarily.
Oh, there she goes.
Devote that much time to it.
Sorry, you'd stopped. Your internet had kind of glitched there for a second. We lost you for a second. I was wondering if my internet had went. Maybe I was looking around. I'm like, am I down? Yeah, I see what you're saying. You didn't want it. Sorry, could you say that last part again so everybody could hear you properly? My bad.
No, it's okay. His presentation on convincing us that flat Earth is relevant was not compelling enough for me to devote that much time to exploring his points. Like, you're never going to convince anybody with that.
I mean, they convince people, but they're usually the people that are already convincible, right? So, quickly, FTFE2, I read your comment, but I want to thank you very much for the £5. Ooh, what's that smell? I did read it, that's right, but I don't know if I thanked you for the money, so I appreciate it, sir. Jackalope Herdmaster, and by the way, he's on in 15 minutes, and I will be casually late to that show. I've been invited there, so that's where I'm going after this. So we got Jackalope Herdmaster for $5, no comment, just an awesome guy. Oh, you nuked your super chat comment? What was it, Jackalope? Just at me, Jackalope, at your comment at me. I'll read it, buddy. Nuked his comment. Oh, I wonder what your comment was. See, they'll nuke a comment too, even. Bjorn, sorry, my apologies. I know how to pronounce your name. Only because my brother listened to Bjork, okay? So otherwise I'd have been lost. I'd been like, Bjorn? As usual, thanks for the stream, and I'm sure the quote, obviously it's fake, unquote, has gained at least around 0.09% subscribers due to your doing. I appreciate it. I think Bjorn's ripping into me there. Obviously, it's fake. Looking forward to browse through your channel tomorrow. Good night, y'all. Yeah, make sure you give him a couple thumbs up, even just to kind of like maybe we can counteract some of that baloney from the flat earthers, even if you're not sticking around. You know, screw you, Beaver. I delayed by 15 minutes. Oh, did you? Oh, well then you should be okay. We gotta get through this Tartaria part though. She wanted to talk about it, so I want to listen to what he has to say here because I didn't get this far. I'm just reading the comments here before doing. Vacuums don't suck, they blow. Thank you. And yes, I said to him, yeah, I know. It's actually the name of the video is Flat Earth sucks, space does not. Which is a pretty
Flat
awesome
Earth
title.
sucks, but space blows.
That actually, I think the word blows might get you. See, this is the thing you're gonna learn. I'd be afraid of using that word blows, because the AI will comb your titles, like all of it. So yeah, you gotta, when you're making a title, you gotta think like what's gonna catch attention but not piss off the AI, because it doesn't want anything sexual. It doesn't want anything like, you know, and it knows a bit of context. It's not great though. It tries. But here, let's get Dave Weiss going here. I can finish this at a decent time for you ladies.
I mean, there was giants here in the 1800s. Giants, humans, giants.
The 1800s too. Like he doesn't even go that far back. He just goes to the 1800s.
So recently, like
it's like I don't know. I watched Armored Skeptic. Do you ever watch Armored Skeptic or anything like that? He's a pretty decent sized YouTuber. I watched Armored Skeptic's thing on giants, and it was, you know, like it's amazing how they can like, you know, I was like, dude, these rocks were formed somehow. And he's not like a conspiracy theorist. If anything, he'd be ready to debunk them. So he was doing a whole series where in episode 1, he'd like build you up and make you like believe it almost by time he was done by just like going through the tropes, right? And then
you might be able to convince me that a giant existed, but not in the 1800s. That's not far enough back.
Yeah, this was not 1800s. This was definitely for hundreds of years ago, and even if not, I think it might have been thousands. I think it was like Incan times and stuff. I'm not exactly sure the years on that. I'd have to review my history, my ancient history, for which my ancient history teacher would be appalled. But there it is. I don't quite remember the time frame of that. But yeah. So, anyways, let's. Dave, 1800s. Eh? Wow, that's amazing.
Proof. There's buildings. There's video of them in the early 1900s.
Okay, Dave. How many videos do you think there even is from the early 1900s?
I'm gonna say not many.
When was video invented? When was the video? Because in World War I, they were. The fuck did I just roll over? In World War I, they were rolling onto the battlefield with like a carriage on the back of a horse and buggy, like a horse towing a carriage that had some radio gear on it. And one guy might have
silent films start in the 1920s, right?
But that's
like,
what I mean. Like World War I, they would have had a guy with a radio, and they might have had a dude going, walking along doing that, so you could get this extremely jagged shot of like, so the troops march to war to fight the battle, you know, and you know you see the horse going by all freaking skippy and flashing fucking footage, like. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, so you see what I mean? Like even their timelines with like reality don't line up. Like when was film invented? And of course we're talking film. Okay, well hold on though. Hold on. So let's all learn together. Apparently
this reality is not even real though. That is basically what he told us. Like it doesn't matter when film was invented because history as we know it is incorrect.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Okay, so listen to this though, just so we can all learn together and we can all be right and not wrong when we talk about things. Such a device was created by French-born inventor Louis Le Prince in the late 1880s. He shot several short films in Leeds, England in 1888, and then the following year he began using the newly invented celluloid film. Sounds like something for I'm not going to go there. Celluloid, it doesn't matter. He was scheduled to show his work in New York City in 1890, but he disappeared while traveling in France. The exhibition never occurred, and Le Prince's contribution to cinema remained little known for decades. Instead, it was William Kennedy Laurie Dixon, working in the West Orange, New Jersey laboratories of the Edison Company, who created what was widely regarded as the first motion picture camera. And that year was when? 1877, actually, even. So, no, wait, that's not right. Edison invented the phonograph. No, phonograph in 1877. And Edison commissioned Dixon on young laboratories. Dixon combined the two final, blah, 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 blah. 1888 is the first camera. But boy, is that not something you'd be carrying around and filming. Here, I'll show you. It's
like, imagine how large that camera must have to be in the late 1800s.
Well, it's sitting on the goddamn table. Like, that's
oh wow.
So like that's an 1888 kinetograph, a motion picture camera developed by William Kennedy, Laurie Dixon, and Thomas Edison in 1988. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I just don't think that this baby, this sweet piece of material right here, was filming giants 20 years later, like within 20 years. I just don't think so. Wow, that was an interesting segue. The hell are we looking at now? Wow, that's actually pretty cool. That's an old-ass photo. Do you see this?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Okay, so this...
There any giants?
These are clearly giants. Do you see the Tartarian?
She looks pretty tall.
See, I like you guys. That's awesome.
What constitutes a giant? Like, what height? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, could there be giants? Yeah. I mean, it depends on how tall you are, I guess.
See, they would use a shot like this. Okay, so you see this right here, which, by the way, is that real too? Holy fuck.
Is this a place?
That's what I was saying. This happens to be a place. These are all real photos. Can somebody tell me what kind of
that looks pretty cool.
Like, is this like Apophyse's palace in Stargate or something? What the fuck am I looking at right here?
Right? I'm not wearing my glasses, but it kind of looks like India maybe with the elephants, right?
Yeah, that's a solid call on your department. I'm going to tell you right now with the elephants, because that's Vishnu with a bunch. Yeah. Isn't he supposed to have a bunch of arms? I don't know. All I know is that this is the most beautiful and ancient, yet also not really ancient looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm almost ashamed that I don't know where this is, because wow, that's gorgeous. Look at the architecture. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, like that took some time.
God. Nowadays people are like, I want a stone archway. You're like, it'll be $150,000 of man labor. They're like, I'll do with the plastic frickin' lights, and I'll just drape them with a 3M hook. That'll be like my dad, like, see these shelves right here? 3 shelves, okay? That's it. 3 shelves. They're not that big. Like, I could hug it. Okay? So, in order to do that, I had to buy 3 of the brackets that go on the wall, okay? 6 of these little things that you put the shelves on, and then this shelf is cut. Because this is like a nice piece of like treated, like stained wood that has like a finish. I think they just laminate it with that fake wood shit. But
it's like wood paper.
Yeah, you can see the jagged edge over here because I cut it. So this is half of that.
My countertops are like that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, well, exactly. So all I'm getting is it's not like this is like high end shit. Well, this shelf was like $250 fucking dollars. My dad will be in my garage and he'll be like, "Oh, you should put some shelves up." I'm like, "Oh, $1,000 later, I'll put some shelves up." Like, if you put enough shelves, exactly. Just even have you seen wood pricing lately?
Everything's going up.
Oh no, wood is disgusting. So somebody did a thing the other day where they did a pricing. If you did a 250 square foot deck on your house, and you did it this time last year, it would have cost you, and this is Canadian, not American, so obviously you have to take off like 20%, let's say, to make it American currency. But I think it was like $950 to do it this time last year, and to do the same deck today would cost you something like $3,700. It's
Wow.
wood has quadrupled in price.
That's insanity.
So people are complaining about gas, and there's carpenters out there going like, rink. They go up and they cut the piece of wood wrong, and they're like, fuck. Because there's like, you know what I mean? That chunk of wood was like $10 goddamn dollars now, or $15 fucking chunk of wood now. Like, every single cut has to be goddamn perfect. I tell you right now, there's foremen on sites picking up pieces of wood that are fucking 1 inch too long. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Throwing it in people's faces. Like, because you got to remember too, a lot of these projects were like budgeted before, you know, the prices went up. So then you're sitting there going, like, even me, I got a tin order in for a whole house job, and I got it in 2 days before the prices went up 30%. But then I had to buy a couple more little lots of stuff that were 30% more expensive, which was okay because it was only like a small portion of what I needed. But you know, that 30%
the price
is enough
changing, like, it's Doge money or something.
Doge money? Oh, don't invest in Doge though. Listen, when it drops back down to almost nothing, by all means, buy a ton of it, and the next time it surges, get rich. But don't. It's up like 400-500% on the year. I would never invest in that right now. Which a lot of them are. Don't get me wrong. Ethereum's up 1.2 thousand, but yeah, this is not a conversation for right now. But if you want to know about those currencies, there's reasons why one can be worth more than the other, and it's not just. It has to do with how many coins they have. As a
I've been getting into it recently. It's pretty interesting.
Let's just put it this way in a nutshell. I'll tell you the basic dynamics. Dogecoin has no developer. The developer that made it as a joke originally. He left it years ago.
Yeah, it's just like an altcoin.
Yeah,
like it doesn't offer anything.
But that's you're already wrong. You're already wrong about everything you're saying, because altcoins are some of the most powerful, most useful coins in the entire ecospace. But Dogecoin itself is fucking useless. And so, okay, Ethereum. Contracts run on Ethereum. There's literally thousands of other coins that run on Ethereum. And there's companies that are building platforms on Ethereum that use the Ethereum platform. But nobody's building anything for Dogecoin. It just exists because a guy built the code for it. People started mining it, and they just never stopped. And so until people stop mining it, it's going to just be there forever.
What's the one that's like attempting to be like the united currency for Africa?
Well, I have no idea. You got to remember, there is literally 3,000 different cryptocurrencies, and they're not current. Everybody, because they're called cryptocurrency, everybody thinks they're currency, but they're not really currency. They're actually just like tokens, but we call them currency. You know what I mean? Like it's
Isn't there? I thought that I read that one was like trying to like eat like.
Well, Bitcoin's trying to become. They wanted to become the reserve currency of the world, the new digital gold standard, essentially, and it probably will be. But this is a conversation that we could spend hours talking about, because just to get into the Doge one, because we'll touch on one. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, all of them have different uses. They all have different use cases, different value propositions, and different reasons why you may or may not want to invest in them. But I'm gonna tell you, Doge, just the one. It has no developer. All these other ones have dev teams that are working on like correcting problems in the code, making the code better, improving it for the future, making it more usable, making it more scalable, finding better ways to do A, B, C, and D. Dogecoin had a developer. He made it as a joke. When it started becoming worth billions of dollars, he literally said, "This is ridiculous, and I don't want to have anything to do with it," because he didn't want to. I think he was afraid of being found. Because he held like 100 million Doge or something, and I think he was afraid of being held and being found like guilty of some sort of financial crime. So at one day he just said,
creating a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, one day he said, "This is ludicrous." He sold all of the Doge he had. He said, "I'm going to sell what I have back to the market, and that's it. I'm done." He dusted his hands and he walked away. Now, don't get me wrong. Did he get rich in the process? Probably. But he literally said, "I'm not going to be part of because I think he was afraid of being accused of. You know, because like people could say, "Oh, maybe you're feeding Doge off the back door to yourself and stuff," right? Like, I think.
Well, people are like accusing Elon Musk of that now because he's like the joke father.
Just use my heart, mind, and everything will be okay. Hail Satan says. But
Yes.
so just to finish that, Doge has no dev team. It has no use case right now. It just exists because it's there and it's there. Anybody, like, it just persists, right? It like exists on the internet now, and until the last miner shuts off his mining machine, there will always be new Dogecoin entering the market. So until all of the markets stop buying and allowing buying and selling of Doge, or like something has to happen first. The miners have to shut off, or the markets have to stop accepting Doge into their exchanges. But right now, you can only get a Doge on a few exchanges anyways, because it's not seen as a serious coin. That's why it's not on Coinbase. You can get it on CoinSquare in Canada, but Coinbase won't touch it because they don't consider it like an actual project. And Coinbase will not list something that doesn't have a dev team that submits a white paper to them, and actually they have to like present it to Coinbase and say, this is our proposition, this is our use case, this is our reason why we believe we'd be a good addition to Coinbase. So that's why Doge isn't on
anybody
Coinbase.
can create a cryptocurrency, right?
Anybody in the world, and that's the problem too. That's part of the problem. So what you got to, there's a million shit coins out there, but what you got to do is try to find things that actually have use cases. So because if something doesn't have a use, what the fuck is it for? You know what I mean? It's useless. It doesn't have a fucking use case. So just to get to the dynamics of why Doge will drop in price is because...
Are you allowed to say...
Well, just...
I don't know.
Sorry?
Am I allowed to say cum rocket?
Cum rocket? You can say words like that.
That coin?
Cum rocket? Which one are we talking about?
It was supposed to be... I saw
There's Spiff coin.
It was like,
you can look up Spiff
it was like
coin if you want.
invented to pay for like sexual favors. Like it wanted to be like
but if it has a use,
prostitution, right?
Well, I mean, you could use Bitcoin for that if you wanted to, but if it has a use and it's not illegal, then there's nothing really says you can't make because really there's no difference between that and like Canadian Canadian Tire money I get when I go to Canadian Tire and they give me 50 cents of Canadian Tire cash. You know, you bring it all in, you're like, I'm gonna buy some Christmas lights. You know, you stack up your Canadian Tire cash. It's no different. They're giving you like a coin that's worth some sort of value, like almost like a gift card style. Like they're not, they're saying this has a value. But just to finish, so Dogecoin, what happens is 10,000 Doges are mined every single day, no matter what. They will be added to the market. The market has no cap. So every day, more Doge are constantly added. So the only thing, because there's more supply, day after day after day, the supply constantly increases no matter what with no end.
So that's like crazy inflation.
Absolutely. So the only thing that fights that kind of inflation is people buying it. So if the people are buying it faster than it's being mined, the price will go up. But if you go watch the Dogecoin chart, it'll go like this. It'll be like Elon Musk talks about it. It spikes. And then it'll go, but you watch it, it'll go slide until somebody else mentions it, and it'll spike. And then it'll slide.
Yeah,
and
it's super up and
slide.
down.
Yeah, it goes in these really aggressive, like 400% gains, and then it just slides and slides and slides and slides. So can you make money on Doge? Abso-fucking-lutely. You buy it at the bottom. Elon says something bullshit. It spikes. You sell. You could. I know people that have quadrupled their money buying Doge, but they're selling it. They're selling it at the top to kids who are coming in with stimulus money and people who don't know any better. And do you know how many fucking people have come up to me and say, "Hey, how about that Dogecoin, eh?" It has no use case. Like, it has no functional use other than if you buy it and hold it and somebody else buys enough of it, maybe it'll go up in value. But if they don't buy enough of it, guess which direction it's always going to go? It's always going to go down because there's so much of it being mined. Now, Bitcoin's the opposite. That's what gives Bitcoin the value it's getting, is because it's the exact opposite. There's only a finite amount of them. You can never add more once they're all mined. And they become, every 4 years, there's a halvening where the rewards block in half. And so there's less and less and less supply all the time, which makes the intrinsic value of the ones that do exist start going up and up and up and up and up. So it's the opposite kind of thing. But no, Doge will always just you watch at the end of this market, when the boom cycle's done, it will drift down and just settle right back down at like 2 cents a coin. And I'm telling you right now, it was at 0.9 cents a coin before all this bull run. And it'll go right back down there, and there's going to be people that are going to lose like 40x. Like, they're going to buy it at 40 cents, and they're going to be down sitting at like 1 cent in a year from now or 2 years from now and being like, what did I do? So yeah, just be careful. That's all. None of this is straight trading advice. Everybody trade on your own. I'm not a crypto channel. There's fucking crypto channels. Go watch them. Let's finish Tartaria real quick because it is on the hour, just past the hour, and I want to get you ladies out of here for you, not for me, because I don't want to absorb your whole evening. I know you guys got lives to get to, so let me find the right window here. By the way, please interject if you got things to say. I want to hear them. So.
No, that was a good like basic lesson on cryptocurrency.
I just like to talk about things, so you'll get me talking. Stop insulting my Dogecoin. I've made lots. Hey, listen, Adam, I love you too, buddy. And I told you, if you can play that market and make the money, hey, anything that goes up, fucking 100%, 400%, 100%, 50% gains, anything that spikes and drops like that, anybody can make money. Just gotta be smart about it. My problem is every time things go up, I go, but what if it keeps going up? I don't want to sell half of it.
Exactly.
And then it goes back down. You're like, fuck.
That's why I hold on to all my Doge.
Listen, if that thing hits $1, if it ever gets even close to $1, dump every bit of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you get to $1,
you got to what, 40-something cents? Oh my god! If you got to 75 cents, I'd get rid of all of it. Listen, all I'm going to say to you right now, there is no reason Doge should be worth more than XRP. And XRP's trash too. So that's all. That's you're not even allowed to get it as Americans almost now. XRP being sued by the SEC. So here, let's just finish quick couple more minutes of this, and then that way we can talk about it real quick and then get you ladies off here because I hear kids in the background and I know the lives go forward. So here.
Right? Go look at Prague. The buildings in Prague, they were built for giants.
Oh, that's what I was going to say
Everything.
there. Really quickly on that picture, okay, that we had up. That's what I was going to say. On that image we had, wherever it is. Oh, no.
Oh, was that
there.
The elephant? Oh, yeah.
So this is what I was going to get to. See, this is what they're talking about when he says we've seen like the buildings and stuff. Like this is what they're talking about. See the people? See the size of the people down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about archways like this, like and things like this.
They're everywhere.
But these
I mean, it's just like architecture.
Exactly. But like, see, like even these big statues, like to them that would be evidence. Like, cause look, you'd need a big doorway like this for a big asshole like that to go through.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it was giants.
No, exactly. So but by the way, I'm really. Oh no, wait. Here we go. The Temple of Babylon sequence from. Oh, see, this is a movie. Fuck. See, I was like, you fucking show me a place on the planet where this exists. Because I've never seen this, but no, this is a movie.
This is a movie.
It's called Intolerance, 1916. Yeah, but wait a minute. Did they make a set that fucking big for a movie? That seems ridiculous. Well, there we are.
1916.
We all know now, everybody. That's a very nice movie set, and you know what? I think they did. I think they did Babylon justice. That's what I'm gonna say. And then here's okay. Well, let him get some.
Just
Tartaria.
the beginning of the deception.
I think anything you look into, and I mean, Dave, I can tell you spend a lot of time looking into, a lot of different things that revolve around the flat Earth and debunking different.
You could be a politician.
I'm looking for the truth. I'm not here to debunk. But you said, Chelsea, you said your best proof is that's what we were taught. Do you think that's really a good proof?
Wait, where's the heart mind? He told me where that was.
No,
Hail Satan.
I say no because
we're gonna listen to this while you DM me or send me that right here real quick because I want to hear the heart mind comment so everybody can hear it before we're out. That's what we'll end it. That's what we're gonna end the interview. Is the heart mind.
That was one of my favorite parts. The
His
gut
heart
heart, the heart.
Yeah,
mind
listen to your heart brain, man.
Mr. Andrat, I am going to FTFE, so I'm gonna be slightly late because I'm not gonna force these ladies out the door because I was talking too much. Oh, it's at 50 minutes in. Okay, no, there it is right there. Okay. Tartaria for one more minute, and then we're going to heart mind it, okay, everybody? And then I want to let you ladies get a minute to just talk about your channel and then say, tell everybody about yourselves and get a proper shout out for yourselves.
Well, I say yes because somebody taught it to me that was smarter, that had a degree, that was a teacher.
But by the way, your teachers, you know how you become a teacher? You memorize and regurgitate the nonsense in the textbooks the best. And if you do that, you become the new teacher. Your teacher probably, most likely, was not a liar. She was teaching what she believed and following the curriculum of the mind control camp. That's school.
Yeah, they
the
believe we're
worker
all
slave for
mind
them.
controlled.
But they don't teach you about the real math. Go look. Tesla knew about vortex mathematics, right? Go look up sacred geometry.
Discern between the good stuff and the garbage, Dave.
Where you test it. Like when I first learned about flat Earth, I was the one thing that got me is if the Earth is 24,901 miles around, like they tell us, there is a formula for curvature, and that curvature is at 10 miles. There should be 66 feet of curvature if you're right at the ground. You have your camera at the ground level.
Which is why we have plenty of shots of boats with just the top poking up. Like, or airplanes landing underwater, which I have on my channel as well. The just fucking plane just disappears, and all you see is the tail tip going along because it's an oceanside runway. So
That's
shot from
an illusion.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. But remember, if the light bends in their favor, it's proof. But if it doesn't, then it's not. So it's always like validating. But here, let's get to the heart mind, because I do feel that you ladies probably have houses to get back to, and I mean I do too. But my wife was kind enough to release me from the burden of children for the night because I'm going to another stream after this. I owe her tomorrow though. Don't expect to see me tomorrow, everybody.
I mean, there was giants here in the 1800s. Giants.
I don't know if I
humans,
thanked them properly.
giants.
By the way, up there, Jackalope. Did you ever tell me what your comment was? Because I see they nuked your title. I don't know if YouTube nuked my super chat. I just want to make sure he got a super chat and he paid $5 for it, I don't see it here. I see Turkey Rob hanging out there. Hey, Turkey. That's my buddy in Winnipeg. He's down the road. As usual, thanks for the stream. No, I did read all those. I remember reading it. Okay, let's find the heart mind.
There's proof. There's buildings. There's video of them in the early 1900s, right? Go look at Prague. The buildings in Prague, they were built.
Did we miss the heart mind? Hail Satan, you got to give me a better timestamp than that. Your heart mind. Well, that's going to be in here somewhere.
I get intuition, but...
that's your heart mind.
It's everything. And that's just the beginning of the deception. Really a good proof?
No, I
the best. And if you do that, you become the new teacher. Your teacher probably of the mind control camp.
In the school.
Discern
between the good stuff.
Next to the edge, there's garbage everywhere in life, including
how do you
insanity. You can learn.
That's probably what I was going to say. You listen to your heart mind, I bet.
And by the way, there's garbage on the internet, but you can find good stuff. There's good stuff and there's garbage everywhere in life, including
how do you discern between the good stuff?
Right at the ground, you're making the angular work. Okay, if I over a bay,
proof that you're showing us.
I'm asking.
Okay, well, I'll get a better timestamp. That's beautiful. I wish I had a 3-minute till start on fights. Oh, okay, 15 minutes in. 50 minutes in. Well, you keep saying 50 minutes in, but I mean, I went 50 minutes in, and we listened to that.
There's video of them in the early 1900s.
Yeah,
right? Go look at Prague. The buildings in Prague, they were built for giants. Everything. And that's just the beginning of the deception.
Yeah, this is what we already cleared. I think.
Yeah, I don't hear heart mind in there. I know it's around there, but he
tells us to listen to. He says that we don't just have head brains. We have like our myofascia brain and our gut brain and our heart brain, and that you can't always just rely on what your head brain tells you, because sometimes it just doesn't understand things as well as your heart brain.
Okay, and then the only thing I want to point out, that they don't understand the difference between a fucking telescope and a P900, right?
I mean, this, to be perfectly honest with you, like through some of his presentation, I don't know about Chelsea, but I started to like zone out because I was just like, come on.
I zone out every time I'm awake, basically, because ADHD is ripping through my veins faster than a race car. But so I know what you're talking about. But see the
he was never going to convince me that the Earth was flat.
That's purple. But see the one that's clearly Mars, probably. Now, here's what's funny about that. If you look at it through a fucking camera that's zoomed in, this is what you get.
You're smarter than that.
Because that's the atmosphere glowing back at you and all different gases, and it's refracting light wavelengths and all kinds of stuff. But the reality is that orange one is, if you zoom in on with a telescope, you can actually see fucking Mars. I've done it myself. There's a telescope right there. It's a tiny telescope. But it's digital. It'll lock onto it, and then of course they'd make the claim that of course it's pre-programmed, but it's got a mirror in it. It doesn't have a fucking display screen. So it's got you use proper lenses. So there's that. But yeah, it's just funny because everything they say, like they'll show a picture of glimmering Saturn. How is that a planet? It's like if you zoom in on it properly with the right technology, you can actually see those rings, buddy. But they won't. I always joke with them. I always say like, telescope for sale. If you wanna try to do this right. Anyways, please, I want to get you on winning the quiz on Sunday. Oh shit, you'll be spending that's winning the quiz on Sunday. Okay, I want to give you two ladies just a second to say what you would like to say about your channel, about whatever. I do want to thank you both for coming on and listening to me talk too much. I do try to give my guests more time, but you'll learn. Like, I'll have you on again, and you'll be like, listen, you just gotta push your way in and say, listen, shut the fuck up, I'm coming through. So that's how it goes down around here, my friend. You'll see if you watch me on other streams, you'll see how it's done. They're not afraid. But please go ahead.
All right. Well, next time we'll have to start pushing you around a little bit more.
There you go. I like this. So.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and if anybody wants to check us out, our website is obviously itsfake.com. We just released over the last year our first 20 episodes, all about different kinds of conspiracy theories and some common pieces of misinformation. We are, disclaimer, very liberal millennial women. So if you're not into that, you might not be into us.
I'm going to be honest
Chelsea
with you,
likes
most
to think
of the
her
audience here is going to be on the left side of center, or at the very least, you're probably going to find a fairly centrist audience here, because I don't really hide how I feel about things.
Okay, so then you guys won't mind our point of view.
See the numbers? See, and I told you about the numbers. See how it just drains out when FTFE goes live. See, that's what I was telling you. I'm like, if we could do 5, your time would be great. But please keep talking. I cut you off.
Oh, no problem.
No, it's a huge problem. But go ahead.
I'm just trying to be nice. I don't want to make you look like a total dick.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, by all means. I live for it. But no, go ahead, please.
But we appreciate it if anybody wants to go check us out. We're going to be coming out with some more stuff after our little break with season 2. Our lovely Chelsea is getting married soon, so we have to take a little break, but then we'll be back.
Ooh, getting married. That's congratulations.
Thanks.
The old ball and chain. I'm just kidding. Yeah. That's supposed to be what men say about women, but I thought I'd reverse it for you.
That's what I say about mine. It's all right.
Well, but it's all about having fun. Let's face it. So I'm actually just adding your website right now underneath your YouTube page, and I'm gonna do it before I forget because I'm horrid at that. Okay, so there you go. Obviously, it's fake, and it's been added to the description of the video. So if anybody forgets and they want to get some more of that later, it's gonna be in the description. You can go find it.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, YouTube, having more people on our YouTube channel has definitely been fun. It's a much quicker, response and a better means we can communicate with the audience so much more directly. So even though most of Dave's audience hates us and thinks we're dumb bitches, it's still fun.
Oh yeah, don't worry about them. And honestly, don't even, unless they say something if they say horrid shit that needs to be blocked and hidden, then do it. If they're just talking shit, let them talk shit. That's awesome. They leave
we do, yeah.
But you know what I mean. They leave comments, they interact. Let them squirm. You know what I mean. It's not gonna hurt you to leave that stuff there.
If their comments are funny enough, then we will
pin
respond.
them absolutely.
If they say something genuinely funny, then of course we'll appreciate it.
I'm gonna tell you a secret right now. Take the stupidest comment one of them leaves and pin it to the top of your video. Not something never do that to anything racist or anything like that. You delete those ones, but something really dumb where they say something stupid or something that you thought was funny. Just pin it. It'll be great. You'll get lots of comments on it. But anyways, I don't want to hold you ladies. It's gone past the hour mark here. 2 hours is where I try to kind of get off. Plus, FTFE has gone live, and he's probably waiting for me a little bit. So, yeah. So, everybody, please do me a favor and go and check these two ladies out on their It's Obviously Fake podcast. Their, like I said, the description has their website and their YouTube in there. So please go check those out. And maybe if you want to do something good for them, maybe go ahead and hit that thumbs up on a few of their videos and reverse that bullshit that Dave's crew came in. A channel with 66,000 people, and they all pile over there and downvote all your shit to oblivion. It's ridiculous, really. I mean, come on. He's, you've got like, what is it, like a 0.05% of his audience? And, and then he like pretty much sicked them on you by putting that video, slanting it the way he slanted it. Choice selecting, right? So anyways, thank you very much. Say goodbye to the audience. We'll hit this out button. I am working on a new outro to all the people that have membered, especially recently, so many of you. And I gotta fix this patron ticker down here that has not been updated in a while. So, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming to my two guests. You guys have been fantastic, and I'm sorry I talk so much.
It was so much fun. Thanks.
I appreciate it. So I'm gonna hit the outro button. Where is it? Stinger ending. I can never see. Doesn't mean it's mess. That's a mess. I just gotta clean it. Here we go.